Hello, Cyber. My name is Adon Castaneda. I'm with Southern Careers Institute. Today, I'll be performing my presentation on a cybersploit machine through vulnhub.com, which is a vulnerable machine that I have authorized legal consent to hack into to understand the fundamentals and concepts of cybersecurity to better be able to defend and protect a network and its operating systems and devices. So, as you can see here, this is cybersploit. I'm having a lot of issues. I'm working on a compressed hard drive, and a lot of these things don't seem to be running correctly. I've had to create new networks. I've had to create new users and revert back to previous snapshots. So hopefully it works this time. And I've ran through this, but I'll try to run through it without making any mistakes. And sometimes I make mistakes, but here we go. So my project name is High Tech. I've created a long and strong complex password to make it difficult for hackers. So, bam, hopefully, yes, I got it right. And so, as you can see here, this machine, it represents a machine running in the background. So, we're going to enumerate that um, and try to exploit it and gain root level access. So, in theory, we would use Net Discover and to see what's available, what networks, what IP addresses are running on the network, on the local network. But for the sake of that, takes me a while. That takes my computer a very long time. So for the sake of time, we're going to run nmap-r, which specifies the range. But first, we're going to do an IP-a to see what my IP address is. 10.0.2.32, okay. So then we're going to do an nmap dash r to specify the range, 10.0.2 dot 0 slash 24, which is going to be the range of 0 to 255. So that's what that means. Bam, we're going to run that and see what we get. Okay, awesome. All right, we're getting something. It looks like 10.0.2.4 is open. It looks like there's SSH running on it. So I believe that's the machine that we're after. So let me go ahead and 10.0.2.4, go ahead and go to that IP address on the internet on this local NAT network 10.0.2.4 and see if we get anything. Welcome to Cybersploit CTF. Capture the flag. Pen tester, web developer, Android developer. We'll look into that a little bit more later. This looks like what we're looking for. LOL, ha ha ha, you should try something more. Okay, so they're laughing at us because we barely got into the system. We just got to the IP address, we found that, and that's about it. So we need to enumerate it, get some more information. So there's GoBuster, there's all sorts of different commands, but for the sake of feasibility and easy use and just because I've messed with this tool a little bit, we're gonna do a derb command. So derb is basically, for some reason, there we go, it was frozen for a second. So derb command http colon slash slash 10.0.2.4, and this is going to get some more information, possibly sensitive files and things of that nature, but it doesn't exactly enumerate. It just digs in a little bit further, so we'll look into more about that later. But from my understanding, it does some more investigating. So it investigates this website a little bit further, and as you can see here, it worked. So we got, it's by the Dark Raver. It looks like this is by the Dark Raver. The derb is okay version. Wordless common words generated 4,612. So we have all these files associated with this web address, with this IP address. GCI bin, hacker, that looks a little interesting. But what we're usually looking for as pen testers and ethical hackers is a robots.txt file. I guess sometimes maybe they may be able to rename that, but if you find a robots.txt file, you might want to look into that. So we're going to look into that, and we're going to copy that selection. Then we're going to go to another page and paste and go. Okay, bam, we got something. So in real life, it's not going to be this. This looks like a base 64 code. but this is not going to be what we're going to get. We'll get some other sensitive information or some sort of data that the company or the owner of that website might not want us to see. So we're going to copy that, and let me run my handy decoder burp suite, which is nice. There's rapid tables, there's cyberchef, there's base64.org actually as well. So there's different ways to decode base 64, and I think later we'll be looking into decoding something else. But let me go ahead and next start burp. I believe when this burp starts, we're going to go to the decoder and go ahead and decode this. So just bear with me. Sometimes there might be some dead silence, but let's just X out of that. Decoder, let me Control V that in there. And I believe that's base 64. So base 64. Smart decode. Okay, smart decode. Already decoded. Good work. This is the first flag. Flag 1. Cybersploit. YouTube.com/C/cybersploit with curly braces. So we'll zoom in a little bit. I guess it's not letting me zoom in, but that looks like the first flag. So we'll save that, and we're gonna go ahead and inspect. We can inspect the element, which is the web developer code. We might be able to input different characters or different parameters and stuff like that. But for now, we're just gonna go ahead and inspect the page source. So from here, we just get basic data, basic stack path boost. We get some websites and stuff. May be useful in the future. For now, we're looking for anything that really stands out. And what really stands out, if you inspect the source code, you might be able to find some good information, especially as you progress into learning about, coding, C++, and web development and all that. But for now, this looks pretty interesting. Username. And it basically says it right there. This is a username, ITSSKV. So in theory, we've enumerated this website to basically this machine to be able to basically give us a username. So that looks like ITSSKV. Let's go ahead and try to SSH into this machine using this username. And what I believe that we've enumerated is a password as well with the first flag. So the first flag was this right here, good work. And as these machines give us tasks, they give us, some flags that can be used to further enumerate the system. So I believe the first flag was a password. I believe that the second, step is to SSH into this machine using this username, because as we can see here in the terminal that let me scroll back up, it looks like SSH is open on this website, on this web page, on this machine. So SSH is open, so we're going to go ahead and try to SSH into that. So the command is as follows. So let me go ahead and use the same terminal so we don't get confused or mixed up. I'm not going to clear it because I want to save the data. And we're going to SSH. It's going to be ITSSKV at 10.0.2.4, which is the website right here. So we're going to SSH into that. It says authenticity of host can't be established. Host on key by following other names, address. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, I am sure. So yes. Permanently added. Go. Okay, that's not a. It can be. We'll remove it later, but for now, that's a good thing. Password. I believe this. What Burp Suite gave us was the password. So let me go ahead and type that in. I would copy and paste it, but sometimes that doesn't work. So it's cybersploit curly brace youtube.com/c/cybersploit. Bam. Okay, awesome. Looks like we're in. So let me go ahead, and from here, I believe what I'm going to want to do is see what's in the system. LS, list, downloads, examples, flag 2. We have another flag. So let's capture that flag. Concatenate flag 2. And concatenate is basically, getting the data from the file. It shows what's in the file that shows you exactly what's in there. So we're gonna cat that. Bam. We got some crazy binary text. So let me see if Burp Suite can decode that. ASC2 hex. Okay, so it might be able to. So there's rapid tables, there's CyberChef, there's base.64.org. So let me copy that, all that, copy that, copy selection. Let me paste it in here. Bam. So let me decode as ASC22 hex. That's not it. Um, hex. No. I'm gonna have to do another. It didn't. I don't think it decoded it right. It kind of saved it as a very long string. But let me go ahead and go to rapid tables and see if that works. So rapidtables.com is a handy one. CyberChef, rapidtables.com. So we're going to do a conversion, and this is going to be a number conversion, I believe. And this is going to be, it looks like ASC to binary, binary to ASC. I think it's binary, that's binary code, zeros and ones. So we're going to do ASC1 text converter, binary to ASC text 1 converter. Bam. Okay, so convert. Good work, flag 2, cybersploit, HTTP, :t.me/cybersploit. Good work. Okay, so Burp Suite you want to try different things. If something doesn't work, try something else. It's always good qualities and characteristics of a good ethical hacker. So we found that flag. So we found 2 flags so far. The last one is the most challenging. So the last flag, what we're going to want to do is cd, I believe, into the TMP file. Okay, so we're there. And from there, I think we should do a uname-a. So that's going to give us some good information. GNU Linux, as you can see, there's also cat/etc/issue. And from here, we found that this is an Ubuntu 04.04.5. So let's copy that. Bam, copy. And exploit database DB has a very good local exploit, local exploits that you can. Okay, it's not pasting, but it is Ubuntu. And let me go back to it. 12.04.5. 12.04.5. And then we're going to look for a local exploit. And that's kind of like I guess a common basic term you might want to use to exploit. And it looks like it found one. Here's the top. Exploit-DB. Now these look good. Overlays, local privilege escalation. This might be what we're looking for as well. But this is a good website, exploit-db.com. So if you find an exploit on there, it might work. It probably will. So this looks like a pretty legit website. I'm still in the beginning phase of my ethical hacking career, but this is where I'll be using. This website is what I'll be using for my exploits. So this looks like all the code and stuff like that. This is what it looks like. If you understand this stuff, you can make it. If you're a web developer, some sort of creator of code, a coder, and but basically, in the beginning stages, we might have to just get this stuff online. So I've downloaded it already, so let me just download it again, see what it does. Save file, exploit DB. Okay. So this is exploit ED, exploit database ID 37292. So let me go ahead and check. Let me open up a new terminal. Let me just go to, open up a new terminal. Put those side by side. So let me look at my CD downloads. Bam, LS. Okay, so I have it twice. I've tried this in the past. It wasn't working out. I'm just trying everything again, seeing what I can do. And so I have it. So I'm not going to use this one. It looks like the first one should work. And I guess I could remove that one. I'll just remove it later. So let's see here. Bam. we're looking for, I shouldn't have closed that out actually. So what we're going to do from here is I believe we're going to go ahead and upload that exploit onto the attacker machine, onto the machine I'm hacking. The what I've SSH into, we're gonna go ahead and upload that from here. So from there, I have to let me open up one of these. Open up a Python simple HTTP simple server. So let me see. That's gonna be Python dash m slash simple HTTP server. And we're going to open up, it could be on pretty much any port, one that's not being used. So one that I know is not being used is 5000. So bam, we're going to do that. And I believe the next thing we're going to do, it looks like it's open, looks like it's running, it's waiting for a connection. So now we're going to go ahead and connect to that. We're going to go ahead and upload the file. So we're going to use the wget command, which is going to get that file. And we're already in the TMP file, which is a directory, a temporary landing place for files. Users also have write access to this directory, which can be a bad thing. It's a good thing for us though. So we're going to go ahead and wget http colon 10.0.2.4, and I believe that's not the right command. So that's what I did over here. Let me split this vertically again just to show you. Split vertically, IPA. I'm 10.0.2.32. I remember that. So yeah, it's right here, 10.0.2.32. So we're going to be connecting to that on port 5000. And okay, so basically this, as you can see up here, this ITSS KV, we're a user on that machine. We've exploited it, we've hacked into it, and we've SSH into this username using one of the flags as a password. And now we've downloaded the exploit onto my virtual Kali machine. It's right here, 37292.c, and we've opened up a server, Python-m simple HTTP server on port 5000, and we're going to be getting that exploit onto the target machine through this simple HTTP server from port 5000. So from there, we're going to specify 292.c, the file, and go ahead and run that. And 100% looks like it's saved. As you can see here, there's a response code 200. So 200 shows that the connection was successful. The download, the upload was successful. So that's what that 200 means. Response okay, successful. So that's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and ls that. And from there, it looks like it's there, 37292.c. So that's good. Okay. So from there, we're going to go ahead and change that to an executable file. So we're going to change chmod, which is change mode, plus x, plus r means to write, plus w means to write. Plus r means to read. Plus r means to read. Plus w means to write, and then plus x means make executable. There's also 777 to give all permissions and stuff like that. But we're going to go ahead and make this 37292.c executable, and it looks like there's no problems with that. There's another command. I want to make sure it works. So it's called the GCC command. The GCC command performs a compilation step to build a program. And it basically calls other programs to assemble the program and to link the program's component parts into an executable program that you can run. So basically, it's gonna make it function well. It's gonna put it together. It's gonna get programs to make it executable and runnable. So we're gonna do this GCC command 372.c-o, which will make it executable. Turn this into get root. So this is gonna be, it's gonna turn it into a get root file or folder, I believe. So we're gonna go ahead and ls that. and it looks like there's a get root folder. So there's get root, and from there, it's pretty simple. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and run that. So let me go ahead and // get root, bam. Okay, spawning threads, mount one, child threads, done, Etsy, created, okay. So let's go ahead and ID from there, see who I am. These are the IDs, root, groups, okay, ITSSKV. So basically, we were ITSSKV. We were trying to get privilege escalation. We're trying to escalate our privileges to get to root. And this should be this next command, cd/root, bam. And then we're going to do a pwd, bam. Oh, it looks like we're root. Awesome. Okay, so it was successful. So we're going to go ahead and see what kind of files we have in root. We have a final flag. Awesome. So final flag, we're going to concatenate that, which means show the contents. And .txt, bam. Awesome. Okay, cybersploit. Many congratulations. As I've mentioned before, I couldn't have made it this far without the help and mentorship of Mr. Bowman, Mr. Manzano, and Mr. Carter, and actually some of the graduates of this course and some of the students that stick with the networking. Networking is also super helpful. I learned a lot from the students as well as the mentors. So thank you very much. I couldn't have made it this far. And it's also safe. Just make sure you harden your system, remove SSH capability so no one can SSH into your machine through your virtual machine, because they could always escalate their privileges and get root access to your host machine, possibly, if they're really good. So you just want to make sure you cover all your angles, harden your system, remove SSH capabilities, and all sorts of firewalls, and if you can, IDS and IPS and all that good stuff. So thanks again. I'm still headed off to a new school, but I'm still learning a lot, and I plan to learn a whole lot more. So cybersecurity is a lifelong journey. Take it one day at a time, learn one thing new every day, and you'll get there before you know it. So thanks again. This was awesome. Once again, this was powered through Wazoo, and this was a presentation with Southern Careers Institute. My name's Adon Castaneda, and thank you, Cyber, and take care, and have a good one. Goodbye.